Now, investigators of Valley Homes searched in connection to the Tupac Shakur murder investigation nearly 27 years after his death.
The cops had no idea what they were about to walk into inside Tupac's garage. When investigators finally forced that locked door open in February 1997, 5 months after his murder, they expected luxury cars and maybe some studio gear. What they actually found inside that sealed space flipped the entire Tupac Shakur story on its head. Even more shocking, it exposed plans he'd been keeping secret from everyone, including the people closest to him.
They searched a home as part of their ongoing work to solve who killed the rapper and hip-hop icon.
That garage had been untouchable since September 1996, stuck in legal chaos while Death Row Records, Tupac's family, and multiple lawyers battled over ownership. Eventually, a judge ordered it open strictly for inventory. When Detective Marcus Hendricks stepped inside with his team, he instantly sensed something was off. This wasn't a flashy celebrity storage unit.
Heavy-duty shelving covered both sides.
Heavy-duty shelving lined both sides.
Labels and dates like someone running a serious operation.
Like a professional
and
operation.
What sat on that main
sitting on the main music
apart
workbench was something that shattered everything people thought they knew.
Sources telling Bay News Now investigators this search involves Dwayne Davis, also known as Keith D. Davis speaking publicly about the night Tupac died in videos on YouTube and in a book.
3 thick black binders dominated the space, each crammed with hundreds of pages. The first binder held movie scripts, but not projects Tupac had been cast in. These were films he planned to direct himself. There were detailed production schedules, budget outlines, and casting notes written in his own handwriting. It was clear he'd been studying the film industry seriously, preparing for a whole new career. One script, titled Thug Angels, focused on gang intervention programs. Attached were real proposals to partner with nonprofits and host community screenings, where ticket money would be funneled back into youth programs in struggling neighborhoods.
Tupac Shakur shot 4 times inside this BMW in this intersection near the Las Vegas Strip in September 1996. He would die from his injuries 6 days later.
The second binder hit even harder. Page after page of financial records showed where Tupac's money was really going. And it wasn't jewelry or wild parties. Bank statements revealed monthly payments to bail funds for young people locked up on minor charges. Receipts showed he paid legal fees for families who couldn't afford lawyers. Wire transfers confirmed donations to literacy programs, mentorship groups, and community centers across California. And none of it was public. No press releases, no interviews, just quiet support. One $50,000 check went to a Watts literacy program just 3 days before he flew to Las Vegas. But the third binder held something that could have completely changed hip-hop history if Tupac had lived long enough to pull it off.
Murphy speaking exclusively with paramedics in 2016.
We brought the gurney up,
over,
just pulled him out.
Pulled him out, and that's when, everybody was yelling, Tupac.
Legal documents revealed Tupac was building his own record label, completely separate from Death Row. Corporate filings from August 1996 showed he'd already registered the name Machiavelli Records, applied for trademarks, and started talks with distributors who could release his music without Suge Knight involved. Business plans detailed how he wanted to sign and mentor young artists, build a full production house with his own engineers and video directors, and create something that would last beyond just his own career. The message was clear. Tupac was planning his exit from Death Row, and he was doing it on his own terms.
Happy it's happening, and he says he hopes it'll bring some more closure to the case.
And I didn't think there'd ever be any more steps taken in this case.
As cops continued searching the garage, they uncovered a lockbox hidden behind filing cabinets, steel, sealed, and code-locked. After a finish Shakur's lawyer provided the combination, they opened it to find dozens of DV tapes. Each was dated, ranging from July to early September 1996. When detectives played them back at the station, they saw Tupac sitting alone, speaking directly into the camera like a video diary. And what he said on those tapes left everyone shaken, because Tupac clearly believed something bad was coming.
27 years old. I can tell you exactly why it happened. It's happened because of Keith E.D. running his...
The man on those tapes looked nothing like the aggressive image fans saw in music videos. Tupac spoke about being drained, trapped by his own reputation, and knowing his lifestyle couldn't continue much longer. He talked about wanting to move to Ghana and make films about Black history without Hollywood filters. He mentioned plans to write a book on political change and activism, something young people could actually use. In a video dated September 3rd, just 4 days before he was shot, Tupac said he felt like he was living on borrowed time, not because of beef or enemies, but because everything was spiraling too fast and he was losing control. Those tapes proved he was trying to escape the persona he'd built, publicly fearless, privately searching for a way out. Investigators realized they were watching a man desperate to leave, but unsure how to do it without burning everything down. Then they noticed the BMW on the hydraulic lift in the back, and suddenly, everything clicked.
We didn't really know it was going to have any historical significance. At that point, it was fixed and then sold to the general public, probably at an auction, something like that.
The car was a black BMW 750iL, the exact model Tupac was riding in when he was shot in Las Vegas. But this one was flawless, never driven. Registration records showed he bought it just 3 weeks before his death. The keys were tucked in a workbench drawer beside a handwritten note. Exit plan: New York or Ghana. Decide by October. When investigators opened the trunk, they found 2 large duffel bags packed with items that sent chills through the room. Inside were passports, one real, one appearing fake with a different name. $80,000 in cash, vacuum sealed. International phone cards, a handwritten list of contacts in Jamaica, Cuba, and multiple African countries. Financial documents showed Tupac had been quietly converting assets into cash and moving money into offshore accounts death row couldn't touch. Everything pointed to one conclusion: Tupac was preparing to disappear, and this BMW was the getaway car. But what they found under the driver's seat raised questions that still linger today.
Keith E.D. has written a book and made TV appearances detailing his involvement in Tupac's death.
A small leather journal held entries from the week before the shooting. Tupac wrote about feeling watched, convinced someone was tracking his movements and monitoring his plans. He expressed fear over death row's criminal connections and the sense that he'd become a liability to dangerous people. In an entry dated September 5th, 2 days before he was shot, he wrote about trying to cancel the Las Vegas trip multiple times, but feeling pressured to go, despite his instincts screaming not to. The final entry was dated the morning of September 7th, 1996. One chilling sentence: "If tonight goes wrong, the BMW knows where to take them. Keys under the seat, package in the trunk. Tell Mom I tried." That line suggested Tupac may have arranged for someone else to use the BMW if something happened, possibly to protect his mother and family, but that person never came forward. The car sat in police storage for years.
That he's the one who handed Orlando Anderson a gun, and subsequently that gun is used to shoot Tupac.
That garage discovery rewrote everything about Tupac's final days. He wasn't just reckless or waiting for disaster. He was planning an exit, building a new business, preparing for a different life, and trying to protect the people he loved if it all collapsed. The binders, the video diaries, the secret BMW with cash and passports, none of it matched the public image of a man courting danger. So what does it all mean? Why did Tupac feel the need to escape? The evidence suggests he was trapped between 2 worlds. The larger-than-life persona that made him famous also threatened to destroy him. death row, the pressure, the constant need to appear fearless, it was too much. He wanted to become something else, a filmmaker, a builder, a mentor, but he couldn't see a way out without losing everything.
He's openly saying that he's, a significant part of this whole murder. How many times are you going to go on TV and say that before somebody's going to have to take some sort of action?
The secret philanthropy showed how deeply he cared about uplifting others. The record label plans proved he understood the business well enough to go independent. The video diaries revealed a thoughtful, self-aware man, not the reckless caricature the media pushed. And that BMW escape plan showed he knew the danger was real and escalating. When investigators closed their report, they noted Tupac's death wasn't just the loss of a legendary artist, it was the destruction of a carefully planned transformation, one that could have reshaped hip-hop entirely. Those binders and tapes weren't just belongings, they were proof of a future that never happened, a second act erased on a Las Vegas street, months before anyone even knew it existed.
They can match them up and say, wow, these are the same type of rounds that are in Tupac. Obviously, that kicks things up considerably. Will that happen? I think probably not, 26 years later, but certainly it's something that they're going to have to take.
That garage kept Tupac's secrets locked away until it was too late. And looking back now, you can't help but wonder what hip-hop would look like if he'd made it to October, if he'd followed that exit plan, if he'd driven that BMW to the airport and disappeared to Ghana. The world didn't just lose a rapper in 1996, it lost every possibility packed into those duffel bags and written in those binders, hidden in a garage no one was meant to see. Subscribe, like, and comment why you enjoyed this video for a chance to win a brand new Apple MacBook.